While financial pressure remains a burden, an estimated 224 billion rand is expected to be spent by consumers over the upcoming festive season, and that's according to a summer spending survey by short-term lender Wonga. And the head of marketing at Wonga, James Williams, joins us now for that discussion. Good morning, and thank you for talking to us. Now, over Black Friday, the Black Friday weekend, about 7 billion expected to be spent by consumers, but we did see load shedding kind of putting a dent to that. As a precursor to festive season, what are consumers looking to spend on?
Yeah, so thanks, Ntokozo. So what we've seen from our survey results just related to spend is that this year it's actually down by 4%, coming in at 5,700 Rand per person, which is down from the 6,000 Rand that we saw in 2022. And you're quite right. I think this is a reflection on South Africans having to tighten their belts due to the rising cost of living, driven by inflation and increases in the repo rate and so on.
And obviously, James, there are, pressure points for consumers. It is the festive season, holiday season, but a lot of financial responsibility also come with that. Children are at home, a lot of people going home for the holidays and so on. When they are spending, while we're seeing that decrease, what are they looking to purchase? Are they perhaps preparing for next year, or is it still sort of festive season spending that we're seeing?
Yeah, so from the survey, the feedback that we got from 12,500 respondents showed that people are looking to spend exclusively on the festive period. So they're looking to buy things such as gifts, travel, and also food and drink. And a huge portion of their festive spend basket this year is actually taken up by food and drink for the festive period, coming in at 33%. And this is actually down from the 35% that we did see last year spent on food and drink. But again, I think that's further evidence of people having to be more guarded around their spending habits. However, when compared to transport, which comes in at 18.5%, that just shows, the rising cost of inflation and the pressures that that's putting on people's festive spend.
And of course, we did see that food inflation really pushing up those inflation numbers back in October. So certainly understandable for people to be scaling back there. And when we spoke to Standard Bank, they were highlighting that from their records, they're seeing that people are rather spending cash as opposed to taking on credits. What is your survey showing?
Sure. So around 37% of respondents said that they would be saving money for spend over the festive period, and far fewer relying on credit or forms of cash. So that came in at 32% this year. But we do recommend that people be guarded around taking on credit. And I think the best way around this is for people to draw up a budget for their festive spend and take a realistic look at their income and establish what they can afford to spend without being stretched beyond their means. And as far as credit goes, as a rule of thumb, I think it's important that people match the loan term that they want to take out to its intended use. So taking out a 36-month loan so that you can go on an extravagant holiday this December isn't necessarily ideal, as next December, when you may want to go on holiday again, you'll still be paying for the loan you've taken out this year.
And just talking on that credit, we did see, the SARB hold on its final interest rate decision for those consumers that will be looking at credit, perhaps not for festive season, but as they prepare for next year, kids going back to school and some of the costs that come with kicking off a new year. How would you advise for them to just manage that credits if they do find themselves taking credits, specifically short-term credits?
Well, I think an important thing for individuals to consider is their affordability and make sure that they don't push themselves past what they can easily afford to repay. And I think, excessive spend on sort of luxury items, those do come at a cost, and I think consumers need to bear that in mind.
Well, James, my affordability is giving people, the freebies that I got through the year and getting the kids into school next year. But thank you so much for that chat, James. And of course, that is James Williams, who is the marketing head with Wonga.